Remember the 2024 leak list from Arcade1up? Special shout out to Gotham City Arcade, and a big thanks for posting this a couple months ago. Actually, I do think that's 19K Fox's Coffee Stain. I kind of want to revisit something we talked about a couple of weeks ago, and that's the SNK Big Red XL. And this time of year, I mean, we're all focused on deals. I mean, we're watching the Deluxe, NFL Blitz, a lot of Deluxe. I mean, we've seen some great sales in those Deluxe cabinets for $399. Now they're back at $499 right now. But we're all about sales. I mean, we just got over Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I know a lot of us are still waiting to see what else happens. There was a Casinocade. Somebody did buy. They did have a couple here, but the one just a couple of days ago, we were here like Cyber Monday, $599. Wheel of Fortune Casinocade, it's gone. Now what happens after all the deals? After we get everything, get all the Deluxe, we get every cabinet with the riser, the XLs that come out, we get all caught up. We're set, right? Well, until new releases. And new releases like the 2024 leak list. That's what to look forward to next after all these sales from Arcade1up. We still got to get to the intro. Here's some real gems for you. Actually, this would be a great spot for the intro. I was going to do it inside. The building behind me, I'll illuminate it, just kind of set the tone. I go, you know, I'll stand out here in the parking lot. As we walk in, we're going to go to the Castlecade, which used to be. And I thought this would be a great spot for the intro. The building behind me is all illuminated, kind of Christmassy, isn't it? Stand outside of the mall, going to the Castlecade, actually, which once was Aladdin's Castle. Kind of had a brain freeze right there, brain fart. We talked about the SNK Big Red XL on the supposed 2024 leak list a couple of weeks ago with the announcement from Unico. Could we see that actually happen? Because there's no games on that. On their Supernova Candy Cab. You know, when they made the announcement, I go, whoops, it looks like I was wrong. Maybe not. Kind of like bring your own with that. That's kind of like a real arcade. Arcade1up. I feel really strong, guys. Like, more than we did when we talked about this about a month ago. I think we're going to see this. This cabinet. I think it's a definite. Now, let's run inside the mall here. Spying in the window at Zoomies a month ago. I got to rewind here. There's the shadow. Kind of rewind here. I think it was first or second week in November, we talked about the Big Red. Not quite a month ago. Just want to correct myself as we're walking in to what actually was one of the best food courts. Kind of getting off track here. Not so much anymore, but I do have a hidden gem relic at this mall. Yeah, Cinnabon's closed. Actually, 1, 2. Looks like Philly's closed. 3 venues. Honey Ann's down there, so 4 venues at the food court. But the Castlecade actually used to be at this very location, but in this mall, Aladdin's Castle. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with that. But this is a great spot to check out an SNK. After the news, we got from Unico the Supernova Candy Cab. So the first thing I thought about when Unico announced the Supernova Blast was, oh my gosh, it looks like they still have the license at Unico for the MVSX SNK. But then we're finding out that no, it's basically bring your own game. So then I'm back to, you know, we were talking about the Big Red for Arcade1up a couple of weeks ago. This is the first thing I thought about. POW, Prisoners of War, 2-player game. A fun 2-player game. Actually something a lot of us probably have on a high-low hack. But what don't we get with that? We don't get online play. And who offers online play? Arcade1up. Could we see Arcade1up doing this? I mean, the chances of seeing that Big Red and MVSX, it's looking more and more like I think we're gonna get this. And I know there's a lot more titles, but as exciting as this is, for me personally, just a beat 'em up, because beat 'em ups online are so much better. This is just the start of the speculating we can do for Arcade1up 2024. POW, SNK. It can happen. Of course, the raw thrills. I mean, just something we've all talked about, raw thrills 2024 from Arcade1up, but I really wanted to get into that SNK MVSX because that is very likely. I mean, I don't know if we've all like kind of thought about that. The fact of they don't have the license anymore at Unico, and Arcade1up, don't count them out. We're gonna see. This is just the beginning. I'm telling you guys, it could look very promising. Arcade1up going forward. You know, with titles like Galaga, Pac-Man, and Namco titles, Arcade1up has owned that. You know, they've given us this. They haven't given us the SNK yet. Plenty of Pac-Man, no doubt. Namco. And we'll still see a lot more Pac-Man, but we could see a lot more SNK. I'm just heading on to MVSX Unico here for a second. You know, what you're seeing online, whether you're looking directly on the site or on Amazon, once they sell out of these, that's it. And just looking at what I have is the bar top, the stand, and the riser. You're seeing the $629.99. This is as cheap as it's going to get. The basic, your bar top, your stand for $539 on sale from $569. You know, they're giving you the $30 off. They're not going to go any cheaper because once they sell out everything, that's it, guys. I just bought the stand recently for a backup, actually for a countercade stand, which is kind of a work in progress. It is a little shorter than a basic iArcade stand, but the iArcade stand being no more, it's actually impossible to find. And pretty soon these will be impossible to find too. Only way you'll see something different is for a company like Arcade1up with online play. Maybe At Games picks up the license and we're downloading games on their new Legends Ultimate 4K HD, but I honestly, I'm telling you guys, I can really see Arcade1up giving us a big red with online play and different games than we saw on this. Different games like, I mean, there's going to be fighting games, of course, but beat 'em ups like POW. And of course, something that was left off of that 2024 leak list, and those were the Arcade1up claw machines. And this is exactly where they got those ideas from, because every arcade, as you see, should have a claw machine. And I think this is what they're seeing. And you know, if this is an arcade here, what's to stop us from getting a claw machine in the arcade at our own home, right? I'm telling you, I think this catches on. I mean, seriously, all jokes aside. What do you think? And what do you think about this? I thought this was slime for a second. It's kind of that 80s feel. Actually, you know, when I was a kid coming to this mall in the 80s, this is probably a type of place, maybe that a KB toy store, where I would have picked up something like this, 400 tickets. Definitely would have came home. The Mega Glow Putty. Let's just call it slime. You can really win big and win a PlayStation 5. I mean, could you imagine walking out of the Castlecade with a brand new PlayStation 5? I mean, it's like there's been some winners. That'd be huge. I just gotta say, I absolutely love the fact that this is here. I mean, we saw the newer titles, we saw the claw machines, you know, you can win the PlayStation 5, all this other stuff, this Dave & Buster's stuff. I love the fact, you have Pac-Man too. I love the fact that SNK Prisoners of War is here. And these controls, I mean, it's just, I love it. The art on here, and I love the fact that I actually have this at home. A couple different ways to play this, and I got a great comparison. Where we're going next, my thoughts of what will happen, could happen, Arcade1up gets SNK, MVSX, and we can play online. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love my MVSX NEOGEO. It's one of my favorite cabinets. I mean, for multiple reasons, I think every arcade should definitely have one of these. So the prices we're seeing, definitely pick one of these up. I just don't think they're gonna drop. We're gonna get the Shinku Hadouken in a second, but just imagine Arcade1up giving us, what's the difference? Online play. This is a great cabinet, it's a great look. 50 games, not saying they're going to give us 50 games for Arcade1up. I'm going to compare it to Street Fighter 2 14. But what's the difference? Online play. Imagine if they could have gave us online play for this. And it's kind of my pitch for the MVSX, NEOGEO, Unico. 50 games, beat 'em ups, sports games, fighter games, shooting games. There's a huge variety on here. Plus, you know, you all know about the high-low hack. I mean, you can add and look, the thing is we all have all these games. Like, every one of us has at least one multicade. I mean, we have everything on here. The only thing we don't have is the online play. And online doesn't strike everybody. It's not important to everyone. But you have that option. You can connect to your home router, or you can just say, hey, I just want to play this. You know, if someone comes over, we'll play together, but I don't have any desire to play online. But in this day and age, it's available, and that's the selling point that Arcade1up gives us. Say what you want about the cabinets itself. You want to call them a toy, you want to say they're cheap. They give us online. We can play these games online, and they represent a real arcade at an affordable price. I mean, we don't have to, this isn't a negotiation, an argument about, you know, pros and cons here about an Arcade1up, an MVSX, and iArcade, AtGames, compared to the real thing. It's the online play, and you can see AtGames is going that route also. They're giving us online. That's what we want. iArcade did it too. That's important, and that's what Arcade1up really specializes in. I just gotta say that I love the intro, King of Fighters 98. I mean, this gets you pumped up. I actually used this when I did the review on this. I mean, I'm totally happy with this cabinet. The only thing is if they had online play, and I would never get rid of this. If Arcade1up gave us something similar like this, a big red, this would be another addition for your arcade room. And there's 3 Street Fighter 2 cabinets in here. It's not like just because you have one, you have to get rid of the other one, because I mean, you can just see you're not going to get this per se on an Arcade1up. But you're going to get online games. And going to Street Fighter 2 Turbo, 14 games, the fighters. What gets me are the beat 'em ups. And it's just so much more fun to play those beat 'em ups. So just going back to when we're at the Castlecade, imagine playing Prisoners of War on your big red, online, with your buddy. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than, I mean, just like King of Dragons, Final Fight, Armored Warriors, Captain Commando. I mean, that's what it's all about, guys, right? Having fun at home and playing these. And that's what we're gonna get if Arcade1up does indeed have the license for SNK. So it'll be a fun ride once we get to 2024 and we start seeing some new releases. Now, not everything on this list will be released. There's gonna be stuff on this list that does come out. So, you know, just to guess, it's all speculation, of course, but there are some cabinets, some arcades on here that are definitely coming out. And I just really think that the SNK Big Red XL Deluxe, I don't know about the XL, but I do see that coming out. Along with Smash TV, Robotron. We'll talk more about this in another episode. I wanted to showcase SNK and compare it to a Street Fighter 2 that is heavy fighters, heavy beat 'em ups, because that's exactly what we would get. Now we just need a claw machine. Our next walk and talk, we're going to talk rehash. We've seen a lot of rehash. I mean, what's 2023 without talking about rehash? We're going to get into that in just a couple of days. Got another insight, guys. Feel really confident about some of these rehashes. I want to thank everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.